Yeah, and something important to remember, the whole idea of why you're doing online marketing, you're trying to attract new people every day, right? That's why we do this, to keep growing our audience. And we often forget, okay, well, if I'm trying to bring in new people, when that new person comes in on Thursday, they haven't seen your stuff. They haven't seen your best stuff either. There's probably a few things that you've created that you would really love for everyone to see. And we kind of forget that. And we think we have to make something new. But no, leverage all of that work.
Okay, excellent. Is it an iPhone or something inferior?
Oh, no. I have actually, this is a weird fact about me. I have never owned an iPhone. I have been all Android from day one. So now I have a Pixel, which is a great phone.
Today on the Nice Guys podcast. Fencing, fighting, torture, revenge, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, true love, miracles. Oh, no, that's The Princess Bride. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, FunkNfans! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm like fucking blanking on how, like,
Nice guy
welcome back. I've got that right? But what do I usually say? Like, oh my God, it's like Alzheimer's or something. I don't know what the hell to say. Don't I usually say something before welcome back?
No, you just say welcome back. I think you just tee off with welcome back. Wait, ladies and gentlemen, FunkNfans, Nice Guy community, welcome back.
Yeah, but you always tell me not to say ladies and gentlemen, so because that's why I always want to start, but I'm not supposed to say that.
I'm still stuck on Wednesday's show when we talked about Snoop Dogg being the host of the Joker's Wild. I just don't. Okay, wait.
Sorry, that's Match Game. I just love that music. It's like porno music. I hope Laura's not too serious.
No, she's good. Laura's good. She's
Already
a good lady.
In the first minute of the show, I've dropped the F-bomb twice. I've played Match Game music from the 70s and called it porno music, and I don't even know what that was.
You know how I know that Laura Roeder is a really cool gal? You know how I know?
No, please tell me.
Laura sent me, I would give these to you, Strick, but you seem to have kept some of my books that you've gotten in the mail and not told me that you got mail. Okay. I got a pair of Meet Edgar socks in the mail.
No, how cool is that?
Extremely cool. They are socks with little octopid.
Yeah.
Octopod? What is the plural
of cool shit?
And I got 3 Meet Edgar stickers.
No.
3 and I got a cool Sharpie also.
That's cool.
I know.
I'm jealous.
I know. I was really excited. I got a package in the mail. Very rare that I get a package that does not include a bomb at my house. But today was the day. Today was the day. I got the Meet Edgar package. I got socks. I got stickers. I got a pen. And I got a wonderful interview with Laura Roeder from Meet Edgar. If you've never even heard about Meet Edgar, it is an evergreen content posting tool that you can use for. Is it just Twitter or is it a number of different platforms?
Oh no, it's lots of different platforms. And by the way, as any of you listeners know, I don't know shit about social media.
That's true.
I know Meet Edgar. Yeah. All right. I mean, Meet Edgar, like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and like double your web traffic. It is an incredibly effective tool to automate resharing your content. And it's like hiring a social media manager, but way cheaper.
This chick, also known as the founder of the organization.
This chick.
Well, it's funny when Connie Fife came on the show and I said this chick to her, she was totally about it. She's like got tattoos and she's got a motorcycle and she's like totally into, just being like balls to the wall. I don't think Laura's that way, though.
Oh, really? She's kind of serious?
Yeah.
In other words, everything I've done in the first minute and a half of the show, I've offended her already.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah,
hey, thanks for the heads up. I appreciate that.
No problem. Hey, we will never. They're never going to promote this show, just so you know. I just want to let you know that. What is the first rule of really building your audience? Having your guests promote your show? You know what? Fuck that. We're never going to get that from Laura. It's not going to happen. I want it to happen. I'm kind of wishing it would happen. I'm trying to be as positive as I can, but I'm feeling like, God, Strick, you really blew it for us way up front. You really did.
You could have told me that ahead of time.
I didn't know. I really didn't. I didn't think about it until you started going off, and then I'm thinking, yeah, God, I can't quite recall if I got, we should have like a little symbol that I put at the top. This is a good idea. In the notes that I present, like I got a couple coming up that I that was totally straight laced. I think Laura was that way. God, sorry, Strick.
Couldn't tell me that ahead of time.
Maybe we should we take out all of this beginning stuff, do you think, and just get to the interview, or do you think we should just keep it in and be the real us?
You tell me. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think we should keep it in.
You sure?
Yeah, I do. I really think it's essential. It's essential because you know what? I think that people that even say the word fuck are really prevalent and alive on social media. And I think that even the F-bomb, there's a place for the F-bomb on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Snapchat. Is Snapchat still a thing? Is it still?
I have no idea. You tell me.
I don't know.
You're the social media guy. I just do the editing.
You keep saying that, but I can't believe that you think that I mean, maybe a little step ahead of you, but I'm not far advanced in the game.
Yeah, but you spend a lot more time. I mean, I'm somewhat knowledgeable about it, although I don't have Meet Edgar, although I probably need it desperately, because if I actually had Meet Edgar and used it, I might actually be able to do more social media stuff. And I don't, but you're that guy. You're okay. Wait, I got an idea. Why don't we restart the opening?
You want to restart it? You want to do it?
Yeah, let's do it a little bit different.
Okay,
a little more
different.
like, I mean, I haven't actually listened to the interview yet, but from what I'm getting from you about Laura, I think it's going to be a little more like this. Are we ready?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna do a take two right now.
I think
you ready?
This is good. So everything that we've said to this point will probably, unless you can figure out how to edit it all out, it probably will be edited out, but maybe not be edited out. Is that what you're saying?
It may or may not. We'll see how it goes. But let's do a take two right now. You ready?
Hold on. Before you even give me the take two. So in other words, we're going to give the nice guy community, the FunkNfans, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're going to give them the bonus content right up front without them having to pay for it through patreon.com/NiceGuys. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. It's a little teaser of the kind of things that you will get if you were to donate as little as $1 a month to patreon.com/NiceGuys. I
am ready. Okay.
You ready?
Strick? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Take two.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, FunkNfans, welcome back.
Wait,
today we have an amazing interview with Miss Laura
Stop for a second. Wait, stop for a second.
Edgar.
Stop for a second.
Yeah?
Can you turn the volume of that down just a little bit?
I'll fix it in the mix.
No. You can't fix that in the mix because that's on the same track that you're on.
Details.
All right, so just pull the volume of that down just a little bit, and can I just give you a little direction? Is it okay?
Sure, of course.
Okay. Can you do the intro a little bit more NPR-like and a lot less Alistair Cook-like? Because I think you were trying to go for something like you were trying to go a little bit more. I'm
not sure what the subtle difference between NPR and Alistair Cook is, but I will try that.
Okay,
I can take direction.
Okay, just pull the volume down a little bit of the music because I want to. I think the true you really needs to come out, and I'm just gonna sit back and I'm just gonna be the director here. Okay, and are you ready?
And we're gonna do take three. Right?
Yeah, this is take three. And action.
Good morning, FunkNfans, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is the nice guys on business. On this side of the microphone, Mr. Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. As always, today is Friday. So we do have an amazing interview today with Miss Laura Roeder. Laura is the creator of Meet Edgar. That's right, meetedgar.com. It's like hiring a content manager for a fraction of the cost.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nice Guy community proudly presented by the letter R. For Roeder. The letter M-E for Meet Edgar. All right, let's just go. I think we got it. This chick, she is all about bootstrapping. Oh, shit. I said, oh, no. Oh, God, I wrecked it again.
You what?
I wrecked it.
You wrecked what?
I said a bad word. And
Bootstrapping?
No. No. I dropped the S-bomb.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. You say it all the time, whatever.
Oh, shit. Strick, we should just get to the interview. We are fucking this up really good.
You think?
Yeah, we should.
It's funny. Before we started this episode, I said to you, because I know our Wednesday intro ran a little bit long. The very last thing I said to you before we hit record was, hey, Doug, do you think we can create an intro that's like maybe less than 15 minutes long?
How long is it?
And obviously the answer is no fucking way we can do that. Sorry, Laura, if we have offended you, but I'm sorry, that's just how we are.
How long is this? How long is the intro
Laura,
been?
Did you do your pre-test with Laura? Did you say, hey, Laura, listen to a couple episodes, give us a 5-star rating, and then if you call back, then we'll realize that you do want to be on the show. Did she do that?
Well, I would like to tell you yes, but since I was dealing with her assistant, because Laura is a very important person, she's the founder of fucking Meet Edgar.
I know, it's ridiculous.
She's not going to talk to me like one-on-one. So there's been a little buffer between. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to use a competition. That's funny because buffer is the competition for Meet Edgar. Just so you know, there was a little space between me and Laura. Like there was some handlers that were in the way. So any questions that I asked through a third party.
So what you're saying is that Laura is probably not even going to actually listen to this, which makes it all okay.
Oh, yeah. You know what, Strickland? There is a silver lining in this. That's right. There is a silver lining. That's the fact that maybe Laura will not listen to this episode.
Oh, God.
That's good. Wait, is that really what we're driving for, though? I'm pretty sure that if you had to put your ideal circumstances into the situation, Strick, I've been a guest on many podcasts, and I would say I listen to every podcast that I'm on, but I don't know that the 300 and some odd people that we've had on over the last couple of years, I can't tell you that anybody has ever said to me, you know what? Hey, Doug, I listened back to the episode and I really enjoy it. I don't think anybody. So that's either telling me one of two things. Either they don't enjoy the episode or they're not listening to the episode.
Either way works for us.
Yeah, because you know what? We're fucking number one, people. I am going to milk this for the entire week as long as I can because we have made it to number one on Overcast. Tim Ferriss, I don't know where you are. I don't even really care where you are. I don't wish you ill, and I hope that you are well. But could you just stay out of the business category just a little longer? Because I'm feeling the love right now from the nice guy community at the number one position. All right, Strick, really, how far into the intro are we? How many minutes would you say?
I have no fucking idea.
All right, so we should probably just, people are now hitting the 30-second advance, 30-second advance, 30-second advance.
Big time.
Button. So why don't we get to the interview with Laura Roeder here on, what's the name of our podcast? This is
Nice Guys on Business.
The 4-Hour Work Week.
This is the 4-hour intro, yes.
All right, so we are the Nice Guys on Business podcast, proud to be affiliated with the C-Suite Radio Network and the Greatness Podcast Network as well. Let's get to our interview. Laura Roeder right here. From zero to Zoom in just a few short years, Meet Edgar founder Laura Roeder did things the hard way, on her own. No outside money, bootstrapping her business in spite of huge competition, almost a zero probability of success, and created one of the biggest forces in social media marketing today and help today in time management. She's spoken at the White House on entrepreneurship. She's an expert in the social space. Let's talk to Laura. Welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast, Laura.
Thank you, Doug. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we are. When I heard, and I don't remember if your PR company or your folks inside reached out or if I pestered you on social media like I normally do to get my guess, one way, shape, or form, I was so excited when I heard that you said yes, whether it was through your people or through me. So thank you for being here so much.
Yeah.
So let's go 101 for a second. Tell me about Meet Edgar. I know everybody is probably that's listening has heard of Meet Edgar, but just maybe in your world, just talk about what it is and what it means to you.
Yeah, so Meet Edgar is a really unique tool that I really designed for myself and my own frustrations with social. Because when I was teaching others how to do social media marketing and obviously doing it for my own company, I noticed that it was really smart to repurpose your status updates.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is something a lot of people talk about, is repurposing your content to get the most out of it. And social media is a really great place to do that, because you can look at the numbers and you can see that only a tiny percentage of people who follow you actually see anything that you post. So it really makes a lot of sense to be smart with your content and keep sending it out. And I was so frustrated that the tools didn't have, at the very least, a library to save my content. You know, why do I plug this content into the tool, they send it out, and then it just disappears forever? So I would have to save it myself in a spreadsheet and then keep putting it in. So what Edgar does that's really different from other tools is Edgar fills up your queue for you. You save a library, a really clean, organized, categorized library of all of your social media content that's evergreen, meaning it's good to go out over and over again. It's useful to people, like your old podcasts or your old blog posts. And Edgar goes into your library, finds the content, and then sends it out on social and just keeps doing that. So you can go in and chat with people, go in and add some live updates, but Edgar just handles sending out your social media updates every day. And I use the software, of course. I love it. It's just an immense time saver.
Well, and I've heard so many great things for users that are out there that are using it, and the ease of which the interface, the user experience, it sounds like that is an area that you've really capitalized. And I'm assuming that's coming from your designer background.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I was, in any way personally responsible for, the software design. But something else that's kind of unique about our tool is we're 100% focused on the small business market, where a lot of other tools are kind of looking for enterprise clients and they kind of have a small business version that they don't really care about. We do not have enterprise. We're only small business. That's the market that we're really passionate about, that I'm really passionate about. So the tool was designed from day one to be really simple and really intuitive for a solopreneur that doesn't have time to learn a new tool.
Yeah.
I know what it's like running a business. You don't have a day to devote to figuring out a new tool. So we really wanted to make a tool that you could just go in and day one, didn't have to read anything extensive. You can just go in and figure it out.
I'm sure this has been a question that's been asked of you a million times, but I'm curious because I don't know the answer. In doing a lot of the research, I'm like, I don't know how you came up with the name. How did you come up with Meet Edgar?
Yeah, so the reason that it's called Meet Edgar is because we couldn't come up with a better name, is the truth. So we were calling it Edgar as kind of a code name for the project before it launched. And it was never meant to be the name. And, I was trying to come up with startup names and I just wasn't into any of them. And I thought, wouldn't it be kind of funny if we just called it Edgar? It would kind of stand out. It would be really different in the space. And so we're just like, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And it's been a great choice. I think people really remember it. It's allowed us to do a really fun personification of Edgar the octopus in our marketing. And I think help reinforce that idea that Edgar is like a helpful person who just manages your social for you.
Well, the creativity of the product is great. And what I really think enhances the creativity of the product is the creativity of the blog that you offer on your site as well. What's great about it is it's not just a tool, but you're showing people through practical application actually how this tool can work. You have this blog post, how to turn a single blog post into 10 fresh pieces of content. And it's so great because it does talk about the idea behind remanufacturing your content. You don't have to create for every time you blog, you don't have to create a fresh piece of content. You can make it creative. And I think, again, that's part of the design process, the design brain that you have.
Yeah, and we've really thought a lot about the needs of a small business owner and a solopreneur. And something that we saw happening on social is people often feel like they need to write an entirely new post to have an excuse to post on social media. There's this myth that, it's Thursday, I need to post something. When am I going to post? Well, I guess I have to write a new blog post. And it creates so much pressure on small business owners to create that volume of blog posts. It's really unsustainable, and it leads to higher quantity but lower quality, which we all know, you know, is just not the way to win with content marketing. So we've seen so many of our customers say, you know, Edgar has really relieved the pressure of that blogging frequency, because now I know I can go a slower pace, get more quality posts out every time, but then drive a lot more traffic to those posts using Edgar.
And you just spoke to me exactly, because it's not like putting out a more quantity of a post is going to put out. I have a limited amount of time in the course of my day. I've been blogging now for the last almost 4 years, and finally I just needed to make the turn. And we have this podcast, and the podcast episodes air 5 days a week. So it's like, oh gosh, I have a blog that I need to write. I have the podcast. Oh yeah, and I need to do business development too. Right. I need to balance my checkbook, and I need to go shopping. Oh, and every once in a while I like to get maybe 5 hours of sleep if I can.
Right.
So all of those things together equal complete disarray when it comes to my schedule, and anything that I can grasp onto that is not only good but extremely creative and helpful. And it sounds like that's what we're meeting with when we're meeting Edgar. It sounds like that's where we are.
Yeah, and something important to remember, you know, the whole idea of why you're doing online marketing, you're trying to attract new people every day, right? That's why we do this, to keep growing our audience. And we often forget, okay, well, if I'm trying to bring in new people, why do I think those new people have seen my entire catalog? I mean, someone like you is just, you're an incredibly prolific creator of content, right? You've created hundreds and thousands of podcasts, blog posts. And when that new person comes in on Thursday, they haven't seen your stuff. They haven't seen your best stuff either. There's probably a few things that you've created that you would really love for everyone to see. And we kind of forget that. And we think we have to make something new. But no, you know, leverage all of that work. Especially
the evergreen content, the stuff that's going to be, that will last forever. Why do I go, and you hit it on the head. I mean, I do spend so much time just like, oh my gosh, I really need to create this new content, when I forget that I have thousands, millions, hundreds of millions of people that have not even seen the shit that I already got out there in the street. Why am I working so hard? Just ease up on the pedal. I could probably stop creating content today and still have 10 years of content coming. Now, some of it's going to obviously get stale because it's very relevant. Even the evergreen stuff gets stale because, you know, things change with marketing and sales.
Yeah. You know, over time stuff gets stale, but I think we really overestimate how short that time is. You know, maybe 5 years later, your SEO posts need to be updated. But for most small businesses, most of the content you're creating is, you know, how-to advice, strategic advice. It's not like this journalistic style, okay, here's a change that happened today that's only relevant today. You know, maybe that's true if you're advising someone on stock picks, you know, your content isn't interesting a year later. But for most small businesses, they're writing much more, you know, if you're an accountant, you're talking about, maybe you have a few posts that are like this year's tax changes, but most of your posts are definitely evergreen best practices for keeping your books and, you know, LLC or S Corp. Most of the content is going to be good for at least years to come, if not longer.
And Nice Guy community, just so you can get confirmation of that. And Laura, I was totally paying attention to your answer, but as you were answering that question, I was looking, I'm like, damn, I know she's right. And I went to the analytics on my page, and I can see 3 of the top 10 that I wrote, the blog posts that I wrote over 2 years ago. One of them was, would you hire you? 10 ways to add value to your position at work. 9 actions to go beyond customer service. 8 must-know rules for resolving customer conflicts. I mean, those 3 alone have had years and years and years of traffic and thousands of hits. And I did that years ago, and and I'm not even refreshing it. All I'm doing is just letting it out there, and the SEO world is coming and finding it. So it's very interesting how we put so much pressure on ourselves to create content, which really does bring me to a question that I want to ask is, what do you think is more important, curating content or creating content?
That's an interesting question. I mean, I think you have to do both. You definitely need to publish your own content. For SEO purposes, you know, you need to have content leading people back to your own site, because your own site is where people are opting in for your email list, or they're deciding to buy from you, or buying a product right then and there, whatever that is for your business. So you definitely need to have your own content to direct people back to your site. Now, curating other people's content to help create your content is a really great way to go. And I mean, Google definitely loves those lists of, I was Googling the other day stuff about SaaS pricing, and all of the first 2 pages were filled with those, ultimate guide to SaaS pricing, where there's like 60 links and little summaries of each one. People tend to like that really exhaustive content. There's actually data that shows that they share it. They don't actually read it all, right. But like they bookmark it, they share it. They're like, oh, this is really good. So there's definitely smart ways to curate other people's content to create your own. But yeah, I think it's always a balance.
Let's talk about let's leave behind the content for a second and just talk about the business, the ownership side, the entrepreneurship side of business. Is there a strategy that you think is a solid one for someone not looking to necessarily scale their business? They want to stay little and they want to stay happy. I see a lot I think there was a YouTube video on you when you were speaking at the White House. Congratulations, by the way. That's a pretty cool thing to have on your resume, isn't it? So, yeah. What's been the secret to your happiness as a business owner?
Oh man, that's a great question. That's a big question. I think for me, something that's been really important is really paying attention to what I spend my time on and making sure that I'm building a business that I personally really enjoy, just for my personal preferences. And I think, all the listeners that have been at this a while know anything takes years of work to build, right? Yeah. Whether you're building an agency or e-commerce or whatever, like it's going to take a lot of time and effort. So you might as well try to build the kind of business that you actually are going to really enjoy. And it's something that I see all the time. I'll talk to people and they'll say, oh, I really hate doing client services, and in 5 years, I'm going to get out of it. And it's like, well, if you hate doing client services,
get out now.
Get out now. Right. Yeah. Today's the day. Like we have this fantasy that somehow in the future it's going to be easier, or I don't know, but to switch your business model is going to take time. And what's the point of spending the 5, 10, 20 years building up a business that for whatever reason is just really not for you and you really don't enjoy? So I've definitely explored a lot of different business models over the years. With software and SaaS, I've found something that I really love and it's a really great fit for me, but that's different for everyone. So I think there's this fantasy of like this big payoff at the end. And this is something that I think is sometimes furthered by this hustle culture, right? Of you're going to put in the work, but then, don't worry, you're not going to see your family for 10 years. But at the end of that 10 years, you're going to have this incredible payoff. And it's not true. And it's just not how I want to live my life. I really want to be enjoying the every day of my work, not hating it for 10 years, hoping that it's somehow going to get better.
You are so talking to me right now. You hit it on the head again. It's what is the payoff? There's not like there's this pot of gold that's going to say, okay, I've arrived. Hey, look, I'm arrived. No, it's not an I've arrived thing. It's my son and I took a vacation this past summer, and he's in his early 20s, and we talked about the process of enjoying the journey, not the destination. And it's like, if you don't enjoy the freaking the freaking journey, everybody, then what good is it? There is no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that's waiting for you and saying, "Come and get me." It is. This is it. The show, the process that you're going through right now is the stuff that you got to enjoy.
Yeah. There's a quote that I really love. I'll paraphrase it. How we spend our day is how we spend our lives. And it means that our life is made up of the everyday, right? It's not the one vacation a year. It's not the day that we sell our company. It's every day. So craft a life where you enjoy your everyday.
Speaking of which, any plans to sell the company and take a buyout and go sit on a beach somewhere, Laura?
I mean, I might sell the company someday. I don't know. I don't know what's in the future. I'm in the technology industry and things change a lot. But
quickly.
I'm 32. I'm not really interested in retiring anytime soon. I enjoy my work.
We don't want you to retire. We want you to keep building Meet Edgar and keep continuing to make it great. Hey, in a number of the things that I read about and I see about you, and in practice, because I see the business, you really talk about the smarts are in the simplicity. Can you share how that strategy has actually worked well by Meet Edgar?
Oh man, that's been such a huge strategy for us. So I referenced earlier in the interview how we've been focused on small business, and that actually is very unusual in our industry. So the kind of common wisdom for software is that maybe you start with lower price plans, but then you quickly move up the chain to big enterprise clients. You know, you add in a sales team, you try to get your it's called ARPU, like that monthly number that you're taking in per customer, bigger and bigger.
Right.
So that's not the strategy that we've pursued. We don't have a sales team. We don't do any kind of like custom plans or anything like that. Actually, we might change this in the future, but right now there's only one plan. You don't even,
right.
You know, we don't even have different tiers. Like there's one plan, sign up for that one. If you're an agency that wants to use Edgar for multiple clients, we just tell you to buy more than one account. You know, that's.
I love it. That is as simple as it gets.
Yeah. And, you know, from bigger decisions like that, there's this cascade effect that just helps everything in your company. So because we only have one plan, that means our development team can be 100% focused on making that one product better and better. Whereas it's really easy to say, oh, let's throw on this extra feature for this higher price plan and, you know, have a different version of the feature for the lower price plan. But now you've created 3 different versions of that feature to maintain and improve. And then you know, you want to change another feature that conflicts with it, and you have to figure out how to handle that.
I'm pulling out my hair already just thinking about all these things that you have to do. It's like, no, just keep it simple.
Right. Your marketing gets really simple because you're talking to that one type of customer. So, you know, as a small business, you just have very limited time and resources. And I think we read about these really exciting ideas online. You read like, okay, you know, you have your like 10 customer personas, and then you create custom funnels for each of those personas. But you try to do this, and now there's just so much to maintain that you can never keep up.
Laura, you are so talking about everything that is me. It's like, holy shit, everybody, you know, and I'm a guy that likes to keep things really simple, and it sounds like that's how you guys do it at Meet Edgar as well. And I keep hearing the noise from everybody. Well, you got to have these funnels, and you got to create a great landing page, and you got to do all that. And I'm just like, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I don't even want to know how to do any of that stuff. If I can pay somebody, great. But I have to pay somebody and still not getting the results. And I'm like, fuck that. I don't want any of that stuff. Can I just remain simple? I built a business for 30 years without the internet. Okay. Now I've reinvented myself a handful of years ago, and I'm just like, okay, now I know I need to embrace technology, but can't I just keep it simple? And it sounds like it's that's exactly how you built your business too. Let's just not make this too complex.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question I get so much about social media. People will say, you know, 1, do I have to be on social media at all? 2, do I have to be on every network? And it's like, well, of course not. You know, there's so many different ways to market a business. There's so many different ways to build a business. Like, there are plenty of local businesses that still do radio ads and billboards and have like a great business based on that. You know, it just depends on your business, and it depends on what you like to do. And no, you don't need to be on every network. And I think social media, it can be a huge time waster. You know, you see like Snapchat, you know, people were really excited, like Snapchat's this great new social tool. And Snapchat is fun. For most businesses, it's not a great marketing channel. Right. It's, you know, it's just not where your customers are hanging out. It still is a much younger network. If your customers are that age, then great. And also it's not built as a marketing platform, you know, and people will get really distracted being like, I have to be on Snapchat, I have to be on Periscope. And it's like, is the ROI really there? You know, these networks are really time consuming to dive into. And are you really seeing customers where if you stick to like Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you don't even have to do all 3, like they have the mass, you know, like Facebook has the human beings are on Facebook.
Right.
Why do you need to worry about where there may or may not be like 25 new people? Like just go to where the billions of people already are.
Oh man, you've just pissed off every social media marketing manager that is like totally in love with Snapchat and all of it has, and I just to say screw them. Really, it's like, oh my gosh. Hey, we can be called the nice guys on business, but if I could say it, and I know that you don't have to necessarily agree. This is my show, so I'll say the words. You don't have to say it. And this is not your belief. I know that. Fuck Snapchat. Okay, for me, I don't give a damn about Snapchat. I like my Facebook, I like my LinkedIn, and I like my Twitter. And pretty much Twitter is really the avenue that I focus on the most. And So sorry, I didn't mean to go off to a tangent there.
No, I loved it.
So for just a quick second, take off your Meet Edgar hat, take off your entrepreneurial hat. Just talk to me as a person talking to another person across the microphone. There's got to be something that you suck at. Because everything that I'm reading, you're really good at everything you do. But they're not going to say, well, and she sucks at cooking eggs in the morning or whatever. Like, what is it that you're horrible at? Give me some level of relatability.
Oh my God. I mean, there's so many life things that I suck at. I mean, I'm one of those stereotypical like entrepreneurs that has no interest in like maintaining my home in any way. So when I first started working for myself when I was like 22, I think I hired a cleaner for my apartment within that first year because I'm like, this is the first thing that I want to spend money on. Like, I do not want to be cleaning my house myself. You brought up cooking, and I do happen to be just like an absolutely horrible cook. I get so overwhelmed with like having to do two things at once.
Yep.
So whenever I'm on dinner duty, it's like mac and cheese.
Okay.
All the time.
Kids, married, family, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm married and I have one son. He's 2.
Oh, that's so, and is he a handful at 2?
He's a pretty chill guy, actually. He's not the wild kind of 2-year-old. He's more like he's a thumbsucker, and he kind of likes to sit back.
All right, he's a mama's boy. That's exactly how I was too. I'm just kind of chilling, just sucking my thumb. Got my whoopee, got my little blanket standing by. Have you taken him to Disney yet? He's too young, isn't he?
No, actually, we just went to Disney earlier this year, Disneyland. Yeah. I mean, it was a very relaxed pace. We did not see very much, but it was fun.
Yeah, with a 2-year-old, I don't think there's a high expectation from a 2-year-old. You can put a spinning top in front of them and they're amazed for hours.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, he liked it okay, but not nearly as much as he liked reading his favorite book when we were back in the hotel room.
Yeah. So, Laura, if somebody wanted to get in touch with your team or with what you do, is it just meetedgar.com, or is there a better spot for them to go?
Yeah, meetedgar.com, Meet Edgar on social, and I blog at lauraroeder.com. Or if you want to talk to me personally, the best way to do that is on Twitter. I'm also a big Twitter fan. I'm LKR on Twitter.
Excellent. I love it. I love the team approach. Your entire team has surrounded you and protected you from me over the last couple of months so finally, now that I have you on the show, they're like, when you hang up, when you get off of Skype, you're gonna be like, why the hell did you put me on with that guy?
Oh, I had a great time.
So Laura, do you have your phone anywhere near you?
I do, yeah.
Okay, excellent. Is it an iPhone or something inferior?
Oh, no. I have actually, this is a weird fact about me. I have never owned an iPhone. I have been all Android from day one. So now I have a Pixel, which is a great phone.
Okay, so we might have to lose this interview. I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that.
I'm out.
No, I'm just kidding. You go to your texting app if you would, please. Tell me the last text you either sent or received.
Oh, it's really boring. It just says, let's do Sunday.
That's okay. That's fine. And go to your I'm assuming you brunch, breakfast, something like that.
Yeah, hang out with kids and do coffee with my friends.
And do mom and dad and kid things.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And go to your photo app and tell, not that that's not exciting, but I'm so glad that my kids are 21 and 25. I'm so glad I'm beyond that right now. I'm like, okay, my kids, the only time they call me is when they need money for college. Go to your photo app and tell me the last picture you took.
Oh, I took a picture. So there's this restaurant here in Austin called Veggie Heaven. That went out of business and just came back a few days ago. And they have this dish called Protein 2000 that is like one of my favorite foods in the whole world. And I was so excited that they're back and Protein 2000's back. So I took a picture of my Protein 2000 to send to all my friends that don't live in Austin anymore, that like went to college with me here in Austin and we used to eat it all the time. Being really excited about that.
Yeah, that's okay. It's kind of like when Panera comes back with their black bean soup in the winter for me. I know I'm a total soup nerd. It's like, oh gosh, telling me you like a soup that much, you get excited. Well, I'm in my pajamas most of the day, so when I get out to Panera, I'm really happy I get to have my soup. Final question: if you were to get an invitation in the mail to go to a fabulous party, a party of your choosing, the dress code they usually put down at the bottom left-hand corner of the invitation, what would be the most the most beneficial dress code for you to see on that you would admire and like and embrace the most?
Oh, pajamas, for sure. I work from home. My whole company works from home. So we have a policy, actually. So we video chat a lot because I think when you work remotely, it's really important to be on video, to see facial expressions. So we have a policy that when you do calls, they have to be on video. But because we work from home, the policy is also like, you can have like a child jumping over you. There can be a dog on your lap. Like you can have a pile of trash behind you. Like there are no standards for how you look. We just want to see you on video.
Totally get it. Pants optional. Pajamas pajamas included, but pants are optional. I love that. Laura, thank you so much for being on the show today. Nice Guy community, we'll make sure we put all of the Meet Edgar information right there in the show notes so that you can click and take advantage of some of the stuff that they have. And Laura, again, thanks for being a part of the show today.
Thank you.
Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to Laura Roeder from Meet Edgar for being on the show today. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the Nice Guys. Have fun storming the castle.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's a little fucker. Are we going to actually leave all that shit in?
Yes, I hope you do. I hope you do.
I'm okay with it as long as she's not going to be offended, but I got to believe you. You're probably right. She's probably not even going to fucking listen. Like her assistant may listen and go, this is really funny. And then when she says, how was the interview? They'll go, oh, it was great.
It was great.
Like totally embarrassed.
I agree. I think we should leave it all and just have hit stop.
That was a really fucking funny intro though.
That was how many minutes do you think we actually were into that? I think that was a 30-minute intro.
I really was not. I was so determined to keep it short that I didn't even look at what time we started. I'm like, I don't even need to look at it because I know we're going to make it quick. And what do? We just fucking rambled.